All right, so we're back, and in this video we are going to have the lower third contract itself or disappear in a similar way to how it started. So let's get started. One thing, I am a little annoyed with how fast the cat is coming on. It seems a little stiff, so I'm just going to fix that really quickly. You can see that almost all of my layers are expanded, so I'm just going to grab all of them and press U, and that will contract all of the different elements so I can see everything. All right, so I'm going to go to my cat layer. I'm going to toggle switches and modes back and press U, and I'm just going to move the second or the last keyframe and see if that helps. There you go, it's a little smoother now. And I could also make this maybe the bounce. Actually, I'll make it bounce a little higher and see if that helps. There we go, a little better. All right. So now that we have all of our elements, the first thing that's coming on is the cat. So I'm going to have that come on last. And then the spice elements and the National Geographic logo. Okay. So I think the spice little buttons here, I'm going to have them retract first. So let's go to that composition. And basically I'm going to do exactly the same as what I did do here. So I'm going to go maybe to 5 seconds, a little after 5 seconds. And I'm going to set a keyframe for their current position. So let's set a keyframe. Remember that's this little blue diamond, or it's blue once you click on it. And basically that says hold in this position from where it came on to where it's going to come off. So that hold is really important. And then from there, I'm going to move over, and I'm going to also have these expand a little bit. So let's grab all of the layers. I'm just going to grab them all, and let's have them all bounce up a little bit, maybe 120, and then they are all going to go to 0. Cool. And of course we don't want this all to happen at the same time, so we're going to offset it, and we're going to offset it in reverse order. So I'm going to have the last one go first, followed by the next one, next one, and next one. And if I wanted to click all of these and maybe move them over, because I do want them to go kind of first, I can do that too. So I'm just going to move these a little bit further. All right, so let's just hit play so we can see these. They're coming on one at a time, they're holding, then they're disappearing one at a time. Perfect. All right, so let's go back to our main composition and let's watch this. So they're coming on, staying, and then coming off. Now that we may need to speed that up a little bit, so I'm going to go back to my spice. I'm going to grab all of these on the left hand side here and maybe just move them up a little bit. There we go. I think there's a little delay, so it started about a second in, so it needs to be, happening a little faster. There we go, and there they go, going away. All right, so maybe even another second. Hold and disappear. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So, I can adjust this even more if I want, and please play around with it. All right, so next we're having those come off first. And then I think I want my spice level to disappear as well. So I'm just going to press U. And again, I'm going to set a keyframe. So let's see. This is when those start coming off. So I think I need my spice level to start coming off around 5 and a bit seconds. So I'm going to press the diamond over here to make sure that I'm holding spice level. And then really quickly, I need to have this move away. Perfect. And because they were easy eased before, it's setting a new easy ease keys. Great. All right, so that's that. What about whiskers? Whiskers, let's press U. So again, we're gonna have whiskers holds. And that'll be one of the later things coming off. So I'm gonna set my hold over on the left. And then again, this will be moved straight up. Cool. Great. All right, our National Geographic logo, I'm going to press U. So again, this is going to, it went from 0 to 100. I think this will be the last thing that'll go. So I'm going to press, get all the way almost to 7 seconds. Click the little button to hold. And then this is going to go to 0. So it'll just wipe off. Perfect. All right, a couple more things. We need to have the this main piece and the little bounce piece to go away as well. So let's do the right accent first. So I'm pressing U to reveal all of the elements on this one. So it's going to hold, and then I think right about here it needs to start moving. For position, let's set our keyframe so it's been holding up until this point. And then it's going to bounce to the right. So I'm going to hold down Shift, bounce to the right. And then from here, it's going to bounce to the left. All right. And at this point at the hold, remember it's going to be, we want to set a keyframe for the scale. And then once it gets back to here, we need to make it tiny again. So I'm just going to set a keyframe at 0. Let's see. Sorry, undo that. I want it to hold in size for quite a while. So I'm going to set another keyframe for hold and then scale it to 0. All right, I probably don't need this first keyframe. There we go. Cool. And let's make these, it doesn't matter if it's these. Okay, so let's just grab all my layers. I'm going to press U to scale them to hide all the different elements. All right, so we're getting there. Next piece is the subheader needs to go. So that is the subhead box. Let's press U to see the keyframes for that. So this one is just a basic scale. So right about here, I'm going to have it start disappearing. So I'm going to set my first keyframe to end the hold. And then at this point here, we want it to disappear. So let's just set it to 0. And for these guys, I don't think I ever set easy ease, so I'm just going to do that now. Keyframe Assistant, easy ease. There we go. All right, press U to hide everything. And then we have our big box here, main title. So U to see the values. So this one, remember, it had the 0 and 100 to 100. So I'm going to set a keyframe for the end of the holds, and then this should go to 0. All right, I want to watch this last little piece, this accent piece. So I think we can set the scale for this. I want it to hold a little longer. There we go. Perfect. All right, so we're almost there. We just need our cat picture. So let's grab our cat picture and press U to see the keyframes. And remember, this one overshot and then settled. So let's do the same thing. So we're going to go towards the very end. We're going to set a keyframe for the end of the holds. We're going to overshoot. So let's go up to like 120. And then it's going to disappear. So it'll be at 0. Cool. All right, let's play the whole thing together. It draws on, it holds for a minute, and then it goes away. Perfect. And then it draws on, and then it goes away. All right, so I think that's good. Let's just export this. So I'm going to go to File, Export, and Add to Media Encoder Queue. It'll take a minute. And then I'm going to just click on the name. Either of these will bring up our settings. We want to make sure that we have animated GIF. And then animated GIF with transparency, because we want to have that transparency in the background in case we add footage. Oh, and then I forgot, I don't actually want the white background. So I'm going to go back to my media encoder here, and I'm actually just going to turn off the visibility on this white background. So now we can export, add to media encoder queue. I'm going to remove the previous one. Say yes. Click on our settings. So we want to have that transparency. I can scroll through to make sure that it's okay. Perfect. And hit OK. I'm going to press play when we're done. One more thing to note, if you wanted to include this in a Premiere project, so Adobe Premiere for a video project, you can also send it. So export, add to media encoder queue. And instead you want to select Apple ProRes, this MXF, and then you want 444 with alpha. So that will enable you to have a transparent background that you can then overlay onto a file in Adobe Premiere. So let's just hit OK on that one. And then remember, when you're ready, you're going to hit play, and that will encode all of these files. And of course, you can always click on these. And so when you open it with Chrome, you're going to see your file has a white background, because Chrome or Safari, they'll by default have a white background. But you can also layer this animated GIF onto other projects as well. All right, so please be creative when you're creating your own lower thirds. Definitely make sure you're using some overshoot, some bounce, and having some nice, headlines and things. All right, have a good one, class. Thank you.